Nzeogwu had led the revolution. But why did Nzeogwu stay back in Kaduna to kill his mentor? Most of the officers backed out. Who was going to face Ahmadu Bello? Who? They said, no, not me. So everybody backed out. Then he said, I will.
He walked into his bedroom.
He said he will. And what did he do? He now gave the group of soldiers that he took to Sardauna's residence, if after 10 minutes I don't come out, bring this building down. To show you that he had passion for the assignment he took. And he had a hand grade. So at the nick of the 10 minutes, which he gave the boys on the ground, he jumped from the upstairs. That's why, if you see that picture, his right hand was in a sling. And the microphone was held for him by Major Hassan Usman Katsina, the military governor.
The boys in Lagos did not carry out the details of the coup. They should have taken out Aguiyi Ironsi. He was the head of the army.
He was. But Aguiyi Ironsi, when they got to his house, like the Abacha episode, Aguiyi Ironsi was at a social party. Aguiyi Ironsi was dancing the night away somewhere.
But some people felt they were weak. Because Kaduna Nzeogwu did his own job clinically. Then the Eastern region, we should look at it.
Yes. Dr. Michael Opara was the premier. But he was hosting the president of Greece. Yeah, he was hosting, what's his name now? The Greek president, who was on a state visit. And he had escorted him to the airport. Sir Makarios. That's what saved the neck of Opara. But Nigerians didn't want to hear that. They said, you should have gone to the airport, let Makarios fly, then do what you did to Premier Ahmadu Bello, Premier Akitola to Premier Opara.
Azikiwe vanished from the country.
Azikiwe got to know he had been given a hint, and he said he was going on a world cruise.
Who gave him a hint?
Everybody has agents everywhere.
But Ahmadu Bello knew there was going to be a coup.
Oh, he was so confident.
He was confident that it was going to happen to him.
And this is the truth. Because Professor Soyinka was marked for execution. Mr. Tasholani was marked for execution for being a thorn in Western region on the premier and invariably the NPC government. So I went to African Church Grammar School, Apata Ganga Ibadan, for 1964, a border. Soldiers had been positioned inside government college campus.
To do what?
To deal with Western radicals.
So the coup is struck on time.
Then Akitola went on a Friday, on a Thursday. Just the the coup was on Saturday, January 15th. Akitola was in Kaduna on Thursday, January 13th. When he got there, they said Ahmadu Bello was here to return from Mecca. Ahmadu Bello was always observing his Jumat in Mecca and Medina. So Akitola had to wait. When he got back, he went to meet Ahmadu Bello at the Kaduna airport. Ahmadu Bello told him, SLA, go back to Ibadan. Put your mind at rest, because they said they had targeted their own to take place on January 17, 1966. So Akitola returned with the hope and the assurance given to him by Sir Ahmadu Bello. So one group executed ahead of the other. There were two groups planning to topple, one to topple Balewa government and the states, and the other one to deal with the so-called radicals who are troubling them.
Have we recovered from that January coup and the counter coup?
If it had been executed the way it was planned, to cover the whole country and not leave out a section, Eastern region, that's one. Two, Major Nzeogwu, in his speech, and I still believe him till tomorrow, was they planned to take Awolowo out of Calabar prison, because Awolowo was jailed on trumped-up charges of treasonable felony. Install him, they said they will back him with the military might for about 6 months. Once Awolowo government stabilized Nzeogwu said he was going to resign his commission in the Nigerian army and go to South Africa. That's a radical.
But again, when you gain power, it becomes a different ballgame. Sylvanus Olympio in Togo was revolutionary. When he gained power, Sylvanus Olympio didn't want to live anymore.
We don't know why the black man, on getting power, and it's not only in politics, social services, commerce, mention it. Once the black man gets power, he's going to change. What's his name?
Sorry, I used the word Sylvanus Olympia. I mean Nyadema.
Oh, the longest.
Yes,
okay,
Nyadema of Togo.
Oh, yeah.
He overthrew Sylvanus Olympio.
That's Nyadema, the friend of Gawan. So, Master Sergeant Samuel Doe.
Yeah.
First night in government house, Liberia.
Yeah.
Because Liberia was, and I think it's still fashioned after the USA. So on his first dinner in government house, chandelier, bright lights, covered, where they put food, everything glowing, glittering. He didn't know, he wasn't aware that there was a steward right behind him on table. So Sergeant Doe told his wife, "Hey, honey, we ain't gonna leave this place in a hurry." Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
He told his wife, "Honey, we are not going to leave this place in a hurry." When he saw chicken, baked beans, salmon, milk, is this how they eat? See him. In less than 5 years, he had changed physically.
He became bloated. And he died there.
And he was doing Afro hairstyle. And when Yomi Johnson cut him and brought down the knife, and he was cutting his...
He was crying like a baby.
He was saying, Yomi, begging...
That's what power does to Africans.
And they get drunk.
So if Kaduna Nzeogwu had succeeded, perhaps he would have been one of those crazy dictators produced by Africa.
Please, I want... he was my hero. Please don't disrobe him.
Because from what we have seen from history, even in Egypt,
they do so.
None of them want to leave.
They
didn't change their country.
They do so.
So I have this fear that Kaduna Nzeogwu would not have even changed Nigeria.
Now let me defend him, even though he's dead. His mother was always on his neck. Kaduna, please marry now. Look at your mates, they are married. I want to carry my grandchildren. And he would tell his mom, marriage is not the most... Just wait for me, I will marry. But please, don't ask me again about marriage. That's a great man, though. That's a great man, which in all likelihood might not become a despot like the rest of black leaders. Once they get to power, Kamuzu Banda of Malawi.
He spent almost 30 years.
Kamuzu Banda, they said he had a woman advisor, Madam Betty or something. That's the nickname. Kamuzu Banda will make sure that every night he visited Madam Betty at her home. And whatever Madam Betty told Kamuzu Banda was law.
Look at the one in Zaire. Mobutu Sese Seko.
When Mobutu was caught in the cornered by
Laurent Kabila.
Thank you. Mobutu. Do you know his name? Original name was something Mobutu. Now, when he added the Sese Seko and he translated it, because journalists once asked him, the foreign journalist said, "Why did you extend your name to Mobutu Sese Seko?" He said Sese Seko in Congolese was the one who destroys and leaves the evidence of destruction with fire.
Look at that one in Central African Republic, John Bender Bokassa,
who clubbed school children for protesting against the quality of the uniform, which the government gave the contract to his wife.
So the point is that Africa has never produced a benevolent military leader.
But let me add this, please. Because, I work with 3 military governors, and they were gentlemen officers.
We are still poor, sir.
Now, let us go beyond politics. Let us go beyond soldiers. 4 things can make any human being drunk.
Like?
Beauty. If a woman, everybody is telling, baby, you are too great. Oh, my pretty, she's going to become swollen-headed. Intelligence. If they say, no, you're a genius, you can solve physics, mathematics problem in a jiffy. Such a man or woman is going swollen-headed. Money, that's why Yoruba say, don't judge friendship on loyalty when a person is poor, is when he gets rich. So beauty, intelligence, money, and position will swell anybody's head.
Can we convert beauty to women?
Women.
All right.
No, women who are listening, please. They are my best friend. If there is no woman in a place, I will run away. I love women.